If you miss your classes for intensive outpatient treatment, you know what that tells me? Maybe you want to go to prison. And if you get sent to prison, how long could you possibly go for? 10 years. Do you want to go to prison for 10 years? All right. If you don't want to go to prison, then you had better start doing what's being asked of you on probation. You understand?
Hear me, yo. Watching how them opera boys get sentenced. You know how the fuck's going on, man. Y'all boys tuned into that Oouchie court watch. Well, we taking it straight from the jail cell to the judge. Hear me,
Andre Moody. Sure. All right, Mr. Moody,
Yes, ma'am.
do you want to be on probation for the rest of your life or end up going to prison?
No, ma'am.
So, one, you got to stop using marijuana. I know people think marijuana is not a big deal, but in Texas, it still is a big deal. And you cannot use marijuana while on probation, and you cannot drink alcohol while on probation. Those are the rules. That's the law. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
So if you continue to use marijuana, that tells me that you want to go to prison. You understand?
Yes, ma'am.
And this is a case. Let me see. You're on deferred adjudication. So you're looking up to 10 years in prison. You understand?
Yes, ma'am.
So they're requesting that you do intensive outpatient treatment, that you restart it. If you miss your classes for intensive outpatient treatment, you know what that tells me? Maybe you want to go to prison. And if you get sent to prison, how long could you possibly go for? 10 years. Do you want to go to prison for 10 years? All right. If you don't want to go to prison, then you had better start doing what's being asked of you on probation. You understand? And if you're tested today, are you going to be positive? When's the last time you used marijuana?
Probably like a month and a half.
All right. They're going to test you today. Yes.
Okay, so we just have a few concerns.
Mhm.
The test that was done right before Christmas on 12/20 tested positive for marijuana.
Mhm.
The other concerns are he has been on probation since 2020,
Mhm.
and it appears that all of his classes are outstanding.
So
Hasn't done like a FIP class or his parenting classes or anything like that.
Yes, ma'am.
all right. So this is what we're going to do. We're going to do a reset for me to get an update on this. I'm going to reset you in a month.
Yes,
And
ma'am.
if you have not started those classes by that time, probation, I'm gonna ask that a motion to revoke be filed. You understand?
Yes, ma'am.
So you had better start. We're not doing this thing. You've been on since 2020 and have done nothing. It's like you're not even on probation. You're just living your life. And guess what? You don't get to just live your life when you're on probation because you have a contract. You understand? So, Ms. Abrams, if we set this for an update for me in February, would that give him enough time to have started the classes?
Yes, Judge.
All right, what date do you recommend we come back in February?
Of the second week, right?
All right, Ms. Ferguson, can you put this for the week of February 5th?
I can do.
Mhm.
Yes, yeah.
All right, we're gonna come back on February 8th, and you had better not miss another class. You understand?
Yes, ma'am.
And then you need to make a decision. Is marijuana worth 10 years prison potentially? If the answer is yes, then just let me know and we'll see about accommodating your 10 years. And when you go to prison, when people ask you, why were you here? You can tell them, the mean judge sent me to prison for 10 years for using marijuana. You understand?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. All right, thank you. Hello,
How you doing?
how are you doing?
Fine.
Well, it doesn't seem like you're doing well because you're before me,
Yes, ma'am.
and you're not before me because you've been successful. And you're not before me because you have questions. You're before me because I have questions and probation has questions. All right, let me ask you this. If you're revoked on this, how much time could you do in prison? No. everybody will say, I can't do any time in prison. You know, somebody would tell this story for us this is when I first started out. They said the judge asked the defendant, so how much time could you do in prison? Just let me know. And you know what they said? The defendant told him, oh, I can do 2 days. And you know what the judge told him? You know what? You just look at every time as 2 days increments. And you know what that judge did? Sent that person to prison for 30 years. So on this case, how much time could I send you to prison for?
How much you can?
Yeah.
10 years?
10 years?
Ma'am.
Do you want to go to prison?
No, ma'am.
Do you want to go to prison because you are not doing what you're supposed to do?
Right.
And people, well, you're acting as though you do because people are working with you. And it says your counselor contacted you and said you missed your group session.
Ma'am.
And then the counselor said, look, I will let you make up those sessions. And your answer to this counselor, knowing you could go to prison for 10 years was, I don't think I can do that. So do you think you can do 10 years in prison?
No, ma'am.
Then why are you acting like you can?
I live in Universal City, ma'am, and recently I've been just struggling. You know, I've lost my job because of transportation, getting back and forth. There's no public transportation in Universal City. Mr. Showdown is a wonderful counselor. You know, I did go set up that meeting with him again because he helps me a lot. You know, I just wasn't able to. I'm not able to move, like get to places. You know, so
Who do you know in Universal City?
I have a roommate. I don't have no family out here. All my family has passed away. I'm from California, you know, so I don't really have people here. You know, I don't have any help. I've been paying $400 every 2 weeks at where I'm staying just to live there, you know, and then I've been catching Uber and live back and forth to work to get there, and then that's a lot of money, you know. I don't have it, you know, and then I've been trying to do it. I could get to places, you know, like today I walked from Universal City to Converse to catch the bus to get here today. But I don't have like funds. Like I'm just getting backed up and on everything, and everything is kind of like coming at me at one time, and I don't, you know, I don't know. I don't have no help. You know, I don't have nothing.
How old are you?
30, about to be 31 next month.
You'll be asked to step
I'll be-
outside.
I'll be
Just 1
31.
second, I'm sorry.
Yes, ma'am.
Who is talking to the inmates like this is visitation? Who is it? Deputy Lord, who was it?
It's that lady with the dark hair.
Excuse me. Hi, miss. I'm gonna need you to step outside the courtroom. All right.
I'll be 30.
Yes.
I'll be 31 next month.
Mhm.
Yes, ma'am. I'll be 31.
All right, so you're gonna have to sit down with somebody. And by somebody, I mean probation will help you. You're going to have to get employment and figure out a budget.
I do. I have income tax. I was working all last year. I have income tax coming February 26th. That's going.
Well, I hope you didn't have somebody do your income tax where they take
No,
a
ma'am.
major percentage of it and then,
I don't know. I just filed. You know, I file with her every year. You know, I work every year. Yes, ma'am. And
all right, so he's saying he lives in Universal City. Are we aware of him living in Universal City? Did you let them know you lived in Universal City?
No.
So, state, this appears to be his issue. He doesn't have any transportation.
I was able to obtain my license. I've been working on that. I did get a car, but the next day it had a blown head gasket, so I lost it and I lost my money. So that kind of set me back as well, you know. And I've been trying to get a car like the right way because that's why I really got my license and did that because I didn't want to get another car that was going to go bad on me. So I got my license and trying to do it.
All right, and they say you worked full-time at Hooters, or you did? What do you do at Hooters?
Cook.
Okay,
Yes, ma'am.
all right. Ms. Abrams,
Yes, Judge.
they're asking for him to restart IOP.
Yes, Judge. That is the recommendation. And additionally for them to restart IOP, I do want to ensure that he is enrolled in his VIP course at least by the either end of the month or, you know, mid-March.
Okay.
Ma'am, I tried to enroll into the VIP class online due to my transportation issues, but it was $195 to enroll. I didn't have the money, you know, I enrolled in Mr. Sheldon's class.
All right. And see, here's the thing. I understand how finances are hitting you, right?
That's ma'am.
But you know why these financial issues are hitting you and you gotta still just deal with it? Because these are consequences for your offense.
Yes, ma'am.
So if you would not have committed this offense, guess what?
I wouldn't be in this
You wouldn't be
situation.
here. Ms. Abrams, with regards to enrollment in BIP, he says he's getting his income tax. So we can give him till March 28th to enroll in BIP. You drug tested today. What are the results going to be?
Did any drugs.
All right. So we're going to drug test him today.
Your Honor, I would like to point out that his last drug test was positive for marijuana back in December. So we can see if that's out of the system by now.
Okay. All right. So you're going to get drug tested today
Ma'am.
and we're going to see what the results are. And if the results are positive, we're going to have another conversation. But for now, he's enrolling the BIP on March 28th and he's to restart IOP. So you're still telling me it's going to be negative?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Anything else, Miss Abrams?
No, Judge.
All right, just sit there. Do you need any water or anything?
Yes, please.
All right, just have a seat. So we're not on the record. When's the last time you used marijuana?
I haven't used it since December.
No, I mean, unless something is wrong with the laws of
Right.
physics and the time continuum has changed, you should not be positive for marijuana if the last time you used is in December. So let me just tell you something right now. You're on probation out of this court. If you want to continue to use marijuana, you're an adult, that's up to you. But using marijuana while you're on probation is not allowed. It's against your conditions of probation. And guess what? You may or may not end up going to prison for 10 years. And when people ask you why you're at the prison for 10 years, you can tell them because you wanted to use marijuana. And I'm sure at the prison, there's a way that people can make their marijuana. I know there's a way that people can make their alcohol if they so choose to imbibe, but you will be at the prison. And guess what? At the prison, you don't have to worry about catching but one bus. And you know what that bus is? The bus from the jail to the prison. So I am not going to tolerate any more excuses from you. Because if you can find time to do marijuana, you can find time to get to Universal City. I don't want to hear this nonsense about I had to walk from Universal City to Converse, because guess what? Those are consequences from being on probation. You need to get a job, and in your job, you need to include reporting to probation and doing your treatment. You should have been done with treatment, but no, you're missing classes. Any other place, guess what they would have done? Maybe issued a warrant for your arrest instead of having this conversation, and you will be taken into custody and you will be brought out wearing orange or red, whichever category they put you in. Do you understand? And if the roommate you're living with is allowing you to use marijuana where you all live, then that's not a good roommate. But I am not going to tolerate any more nonsense with you not following through on what you need to do. This is the last conversation we're going to have, the last compliance we're going to have. If I get another report and everything is in order, I'm going to sign it. And when I sign it, it's going to be for a motion to revoke. You will have to make bond. If you don't make bond, you'll be brought over and we will hear the allegations. Either they're going to be true or not true. And if they're true, you're looking at potentially 10 years in prison. So it's up to you to make the decision of whether or not marijuana is worth 10 years of your life, potentially, or 1 year, or 5 days. You understand? So do not come back here before trying to get tea and sympathy from me. You understand?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, good luck to you. Who's here on Andre Moody? All right, where's Mr. Moody? Come down. All right, is this still going to be a contested or no?
No, Judge. No, we have an agreement, Judge.
All right. All right, court is calling 2019 CR 8716, State of Texas versus Andre Alonzo Moody. Can I have parties announced for the record for the state?
Christian
Defense?
Vega for the defense.
Are you Mr. Moody?
Yes, ma'am.
Are you the same Andre Alonzo Moody who was placed on deferred adjudication in 2019 CR 8716 for the offense of assault, family choking, strangulation on June 24th, 2020 for a period of 6 years and extended for a total of 3 years? Is that you?
Yes, ma'am.
State?
Moving forward with condition number 2, on or about the 24th day of April 2024, in Bear County, Texas, the defendant Andre Alonzo Moody did then and there fail to submit to drug testing as directed by the court officer, supervision officer, and or a duly authorized agent of the board in violation of condition number 2.
How do you plead to that? True or not true?
Sure.
The state will be waiving and abandoning the remaining conditions.
Any objections?
No, Judge.
Did you understand by pleading true to violation of condition number 2, the court could find it true, grant the motion, find you guilty, sentence you up to 10 years in prison and up to a $10,000 fine?
Yes, ma'am.
Knowing that, do you still wish to plead true to violation of condition number 2?
Yes, ma'am.
Court will find violation of condition number 2 true. Is there a proposed agreement?
There is, Judge, we ask the court grant the motion or deny the motion, enter adjudication of guilt, and sentence him to 6 years, probated by 6 years.
All right, so is this the proposed agreement?
Yes.
Why? Why should I do this? He's been here before on a motion to revoke. This is not his first motion to revoke. And the court has addressed issues with him and addressed issues with him. And nothing is happening. We're still here. I've even extended him. So I don't understand why he shouldn't be revoked.
Judge, he has completed those courses. I think he was going to do another round of BIP as well. This would be a conviction for the state.
Why would he do another round of BIP?
It was open there on the court summary. I know that he completed the first one. That's what it reflects.
All right. In his motion to revoke, I'm not considering it, but he has a violation of condition number 1. What's happened to that case?
That's supposed to be rejected.
All right. Is it being rejected because he's entering a plea to violation of condition number 2?
No, independently.
Yes, that's my understanding between the conversation of staff.
I still don't understand. Why should he be continued? Probation
Yes, sir.
on Mr. Moody. What is probation's recommendation? All right. So I don't understand why it should continue him.
It's a revocation and then putting him back on probation, straight probation. 6/6, but I think, was it because in this beginning, the state had mentioned denying the motion? They
Yeah.
meant grant.
No, here's my problem. He's been on probation before. A motion to revoke was filed before. He was continued. Now we're back here again for another motion to revoke. And I'm being requested to continue him. I don't understand why I should continue him. It doesn't appear that he's being successful.
It's for a master.
No, I mean, nobody wants to go to prison. Everybody asks to be continued. I'm just trying to figure out why should I continue you when we've been here before?
It's for,
You want to raise your right hand? You
Yes.
solemnly swear and affirm the testimony you give will be the truth and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
yes,
All right, you can lower your hand, state your name for the record.
Andre Moody.
Why are you not taking your drug test? Because that's what you pled not to doing.
Yes, ma'am. When I went up to the, to go take my drug test, I had $8 in cash. And I had the remainder on the card. They didn't accept it like that. Currently, at that time, I had, lost my apartment. I was paying.
All right, wait, let me stop you right there. So you are saying that you went to go take your drug test. They were charging you a fee. You only had $8 and they wouldn't accept the rest from a card. Is that what you're telling me?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, probation. Can you have somebody zoom in here?
Yes, sir.
All right, somebody's gonna zoom in. We're gonna find out what's going on with the drug test. All right, thank you. Oh, unless you want to take it. Can I see the parties on Moody?
Harry?
Who's the attorney for Moody?
It's Mr. Kelly Fiddle.
Kelly Pickle was on Moody?
Oh,
No,
no,
no.
I'm sorry.
I think
That's,
it's the hallway judge. You can grab them quickly.
All right, thank you.
I'm sorry, I'll think about it. The other guy.
I'm sorry, Judge.
Oh, no problem. All right. So we're back on the record in 2019 CR 8716, State of Texas versus Andre Moody. All right. So we do have Officer Siddell here. Does anyone wish to ask him any questions?
Yes, Judge, if I may.
All right, can you raise your right hand for me, please? Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you give will be the truth and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
You do.
All right, you can lower your hand if you'll state your name for the record, please.
Michael Seidel, Community Supervision Officer, Bear County CSCD Office, Unit 7.
All right. And to the court reporter, that is spelled Seidel. And could you all not send anything else to the printer since we're by Zoom? All right, you may proceed, defense.
One moment, Judge. Mr. Seidel, do you have any knowledge on whether or not Mr. Moody showed up to get a drug test and was denied the opportunity to do so?
I do not have anything specifically in regards to that.
Judge, I think this might be the wrong witness.
All right. So do you know when he was scheduled for a drug test? Is there any way to check?
Yes, he was, he said that he would submit a drug test that day, April 24th at our meeting.
All right. So is there any way for you to check with the facility to see if he actually submitted or tried to submit a drug test on that day?
They do not have a record of him attempting to submit a drug test that day.
All right. And do they place in a file or something that says he didn't submit or attempt to submit?
Yes, there would be a record here in their database, and there is not.
If someone showed up with the incorrect amount of money, would that be reflected on that database?
No. They would all, in the database, it would be if they tried to submit and didn't, or if they didn't come back or something like that, but not if they didn't have the payment.
Ask the witness.
All right. So that it can be very clear. If someone were to show up for drug testing, do they have to sign in?
Yes.
All right. And if they sign in and don't have money, will it still show up that they actually signed in and appeared?
In what I have access to, I do not have that. It would not show in what I have access to.
But would it show up that he even appeared, regardless of whether he was able to pay or not? Will they take his name down that he actually appeared?
That I don't know.
All right. So, Ms. Abrams, when can we?
Judge, so we would have to move this to like a contested hearing. The people from RMS would have to be subpoenaed in order to be here. If it's gonna be, we need specifics on that specific day. I did reach out to Mr. Seidel to ask him about the payment situation, whether or not they would take a combination payment, cash and card. And RMS, he did reach out to RMS in regards to that, and it was confirmed that they do not take a combo payment. So
No, they would.
they would?
They would take a combo payment.
Okay. I misread the information. So at this point, we would have to set it for contested if you would like us to get RMS here.
All right. Any other questions for Officer Sardell?
Not for Officer Bill, but I just wanted to clarify, it's my understanding that the defendant has pled true already to this.
Yes.
Not sure if it would be necessary at this point. This one would be.
Well, the issue is, he's saying the reason why he's pleading true with the explanation. He's saying the reason why he didn't take the drug test is because they wouldn't take a combination payment. He said he had $8 in a cart and they told him no. So Officer Seidel is saying they will take combination payments. So if your client wants someone here from the facility, they're probably going to end up saying, maybe, maybe not, they're going to probably end up saying they do take combination payments. But since he's pleading true with an explanation and that's his explanation, then we'll get to the bottom of it. So
Hey, Judge.
we'll have them here. Yes.
Just, for that,
I'm sorry, what?
I went, we're not gonna, like I said, I went up there, and I started with the $8, and they told me I had to add exact payment.
No. Let me stop you right there. Your testimony to the court was you had a payment for $8 and you had a card. And you said that they would not take a combination payment. That's what you told the court.
Yes, ma'am.
Officer Seidel is saying, yes, they will take a combination payment. So what we need to do, we'll have somebody zoom in from that facility and either they're going to tell me they'll accept a combination payment or they won't.
Yes, ma'am.
All right.
Thanks, Judge.
All right, Ms. Abrams, how much time do you think we need? 2 weeks, 3 weeks? All right, Ms. Fergus, can you recall this for 2 weeks?
Monday the 23rd.
All right, we'll be back on Monday, the 23rd.
Thank
You
you,
said
Judge.
for a contested judge?
No, it's not a contestant. It's just to have a witness zoom in.
Okay.
All right, who's here on Andre Moody? All right, Mr. Moody. Hi.
Good morning.
Good morning. All right, are y'all ready to proceed?
Yes, Judge.
All right, do you have a witness? Counsel, do you have a witness or no?
Judge, I think we're gonna stipulate, we received the records and we're gonna stipulate as to what they can tell you. The witness is available if need be,
Okay.
and I'm covering today for the attorney of record judge. And Mr. Moody understands that and has agreed that I can.
All right, who's the attorney of record?
Elizabeth.
All right, so here's the problem. I could send him to prison. So his attorney of record probably should be here.
Right, feel like camera pictures.
Sure.
Yeah, but we can't speak about your case because she's not gonna hear it today.
Okay, yes, ma'am.
So
All right.
on Thursday, okay?
So we'll come back on Thursday and that will put us at the 26th. Okay,
All right, Judge, thank you.
you're welcome.
Thank you, Mr. Boyd.
You're welcome.
All right.
Norma, recall this for the 26th. All right, so it's my understanding he's already pled through
Yes, Judge,
to a violation of condition number 2,
correct.
and that's related to the drug testing.
Yes, Judge.
Okay. All right, and so with regards to the new cases, the new number 1, was that dismissed?
It was rejected, Judge.
Rejected.
And it wasn't part of, my understanding is it was not part of this negotiation for the agreement that we would like the court to accept with the state.
Okay,
That was rejected prior to that.
all right. All right, so, Ms. Abrams, on this, do we have the RMS staff member or no?
No, so Judge, the RMS staff via subpoena provided all records and all records were reviewed by the state and by the defense. And it was determined that Ms. Wilder did not appear on the date in question.
Okay,
Judge, may I address the court when appropriate
Yes,
about
sure.
that?
okay. All right, who is on this case? Moody?
It's me.
All right. Court is calling 2019 CR 8716, State of Texas versus Andre Alonzo Moody. Can I have parties announced for the record for the state,
Raymond Sabana.
for the defense?
Jeannie Cupid for the defendant.
And are you Mr. Moody?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, so you entered a plea. Could you all please whisper? So you entered a plea of true to violation of condition number 2
Yes, ma'am.
on September 9th. The state waived all other allegations. The court found violation of condition number 2 true. And the case was recalled for today because you had given testimony about calling in or appearing for a drug test. So have both parties received records from RMS?
Yes, Your Honor.
And have you all had a chance to review it?
Yes.
So off the record, in the presence of everyone, probation has informed me that there's no record through RMS that he actually appeared, and defense, you wanted to address that.
Yes, Judge. At the prior hearing, I was not present attorney on that date. There was some confusion about whether we were talking about his appearance in March for not appearing, but he had pled true to April. So he was giving testimony about appearing and splitting a payment with regards to a visit he recalled from March. When I started visiting with him and corrected the date and said, actually, what you pled to true to was failure to drug test in April, the defendant informed me that he did not go in April, that he had been has had financial difficulties. And so there was no question, and we don't want this court to think that he is representing that he did try to go in April, because he wants the court to know that he did not go in April and that he in fact failed to report. Any question about appearing and a partial payment and not being able to do that was with regards to what he recalled was a March test, and that's not what's before the court today. So my client is pleading true. He did not go in April to test. And when appropriate, I would like to share some information with the court that I've learned in visiting with Mr. Moody over the last couple of weeks, that we would ask the court take into consideration when reviewing his case this morning. So do you want me to do that now, Judge? Judge, in meeting with Mr. Moody, his is a case where it's never an excuse, and he wants to address the court directly, and I've advised him you will allow him to do that. But he shared with me, he originally is from California. He has 2 daughters who are 5 and 7. He resides with the mother of those daughters, and their relationship is not the best. And that's, in my opinion, why he's here today. The court knows about the new number 1 that was ultimately rejected. 2019, his sister passed away. 2020, his mother took her own life. 2022, his father passed away. He has 1 remaining sister he has no contact with. Mr. Moody, this is his second MTR. The first MTR was not before this court. It was before another judge, and he was continued at that time. The court brought him in January, and you told him, Judge, you better buckle down and you better get a job and you better start, showing an effort. And I think the record will reflect he got a job as a cook working at Hooters on the Ingram Park location. He lives in Universal City. So transportation and money are his issue, Judge. He has a vehicle. It's not been reliable. There's no bus service where he lives. So when he has to report, he has to either Uber, and he has to have the money to do that, or to take a bus. I think he will address that he's not been formally diagnosed with depression, but Judge, in my just talking with him, he understands what's going on, but I think he suffers depression and losing 3 of his family members. They were the only support that he had, and he lost all of them in a short span of time. And he had tested at the beginning of April. He had appeared. He didn't think that he didn't know, but he didn't realize that they would call him back so soon. It was like 2 weeks later, I think on the 24th, that he was called to test. He didn't have the Uber money. He didn't have the money to drug test. And so he just got depressed, frustrated, and he did not appear. That's never an excuse, Judge, and I know he wants to address the court. But I know you will take those factors into consideration, not as an excuse, but in the totality of looking at his case.
All right. You want to call him as a witness?
Yes.
All right, can you raise your right hand? Do you solemnly swear and affirm the testimony you give will be the truth and nothing but the truth, so help you God? All right, you can lower your hand, state your name for the record.
Andre Alonzo Moody.
All right, you may proceed.
Mr. Moody, have you requested that you be permitted to address the court today?
Yes, ma'am.
And when you were here last time, the judge asked a very important question. She said, "Why should I continue you on probation?" Would you like to address that question for the court?
Yes, ma'am. Um, first I want to say, I messed up. Got my daughters here, my two daughters, and that's everything for me. Everything I do, I try to do everything the right way. I know that it doesn't seem like I'm learning but I'm trying. This is what I acquired my license. I never had a license. I've been trying to get myself together to successfully complete this probation, and I've been trying to do everything the right way. I try to steady myself. I try to take care of my family. I struggle with financial, nothing none of the stipulations have anything to do with me not doing it. It's just I haven't had money. I don't have no help. Everything is through me. I'm my own support. I've been here with my baby mom for about 8 years. We've been trying to get it together and work it out and fix it. I work and support. It's just I can't. I don't have no help. You know what I mean? The outpatient program. I've made an effort, even from University City, to complete those classes. I walked from University City to make sure I wouldn't violate that. At times, sometimes I had money, sometimes I didn't. And my biggest problem is money. You know, like I don't have no help. Boy, so when I fall, it's hard for me to recover. You know what I mean? And that's my biggest issue. It's not doing it. It's not trying to disobey you or anything. I believe this probation has been helping me. The bib class that I was in, I felt like it was real helpful because a lot of people in there, a lot of the guys, they share their experiences with you, and like you can learn from them, you know. And it was cool. It was a cool class. Like everybody's talking to each other, and like I learned a lot. Even though I was only in there for 3 weeks, and the reason why I didn't complete the bill is because of financial. I missed one payment, and then it doubled. And I called the class and I asked them, I told them I really like the class. I really appreciate it. I'm just struggling financially. I don't have the money to pay that $50. And then when you miss again, it's $100. I just didn't have the money for it. I apologize. I want to do better. I'm trying. My daughter is my everything. That's what I do everything for. And I want to go to prison. Of course, you know, I think that I've been here 4 months, and I've had time to, you know, think and just sit back. I felt like God gave me a chance, but really at one point when all those things happened, I didn't want to be there. You know, I didn't even want to live, and I don't know what happened, but I felt like God was working through me, and I want to be better in this sport. Like I said, I steadied myself. I don't really mess with people, you know. Alone, the only thing I do is take care of my family. I try to go to work whenever I can, whenever I can get there. I did get my license, so I did get a car. The timing belt on my car broke. I couldn't move around anymore. That was my transportation. You know, I was in University City, so there's no buses out there, no transportation. But I don't want to make no excuses. But I know I can do better. Give me the opportunity, another chance to do so.
State, any questions?
Briefly, Judge, Mr. Moody, sounds to me like your argument that you're trying to make is the financial stability and the lack of support. I may have missed it. Did you say, are you employed?
Not right now. No, sir. I've been here 4 months, so The job that I did have, I lost.
And what was the job you had before?
Hooters,
Hooter,
as a cook,
as a cook, and how long were you working at Hooter?
for about 3 years.
So,
Yes.
so with the job at Hooters, you could not maintain yourself?
It wasn't that, it was, I had just recently started back working there, it's been off and on for years, I just recently started working back, when I was, in jail in August last year, so I just got that job back because, I used to work at the Rivers, at Rivers Cinema, and, my previous manager there, seen me and he said that they needed help.
Okay, let me stop you. So everyone, let's land the plane. So here's my question. So my understanding from reading the case summary, which nobody objected to me reading at the last hearing, is that probation was recommending revocation. And the reason why they were recommending revocation was because of a new number one. My understanding is that new number one has been rejected.
That's correct.
So is there a new number one out there other than that?
Not that we're aware of.
All right, so according to the court summary, it says probationer was arrested. And it's the same complainant, same offense. That's why they want revocation. But then that case has been rejected by the state. So now my other question is, then we're only here because of a UA.
Correct.
So state, are you still asking for revocation?
So I think the agreement for him to plead to number two is to continue on probation, straight probation. So they would enter a visitation appeal, placing on
6.
6 over 6. That was the agreement that was made before.
And so here's my other issue with this. He has been on probation since 2020.
Yes.
All right. And so he's basically on probation from 2020 for 9 years. Am I correct?
Yes.
Probation? Are you all still recommending revocation?
Judge, I have to defer to the court.
Okay, all right, so this is what I'm telling you. The state rejected that case for whatever reason they rejected it for. I don't know, it wasn't before the court, but it appears to me that your relationship with the complainant, that will be no more. That relationship is over. If you want to have a relationship with her, you can. And what that will result in is I will revoke you. You can go to prison. And then when you get out of prison, you can have a relationship with whomever you want. But if you wish to stay on probation in this court, there's to be no more contact with her.
Because she is the mother of his children, so can we clarify?
No contact with her. If he wants to have visitation with the children, then it needs to be through a third party. There's to be no letters to her. There's to be no, I'm sorry. If you have clothes with her, then what will end up happening? You'll have to get a third party to go pick up your items. And my suggestion is that there be a police escort for that.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, I'll deny the motion, alter and amend conditions. There's going to be partial GPS, waive fees, and GPS for employment only. And there's to be no contact with Siobhan, Chabon Sims. And I'm going to keep him on deferred adjudication. However, if you remain on deferred adjudication, if you come back before the court, the full range of punishment will be open to the court, which is up to 10 years in prison. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
And I believe you all have reached an agreement where it was going to be, what, 6? So the agreement that you had reached with them was that if you were revoked, the most you could be sentenced to is 6 years in the prison. But I'm keeping you on deferred. And if you are revoked, you're looking at the full 10 years. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, probation. Is there anything else?
No, Judge.
All right. And how are we going to address the issues with class, the funding? I don't know.
Judge, I'm not sure. We'll have to do a financial analysis of those particular classes have to be paid for. We can't wait for them.
Okay. So then, what we'll have to do and what you'll have to do as an adult, and this is adulting, you're gonna have to do some research to see if there's any type of programs that will help you with funding for your classes. Legally, you have to take that class. Do you understand?
That's wrong.
All right, is there anything else you need?
No,
All right, thank you.
Thank you, Judge.
You're welcome. All right, are y'all ready on Moody?
Yes, John.
All right, is this still gonna be a contested? Martin, is this still
Yes,
a
sir.
contested on, oh, you're the on it. Is this still gonna be a contested? All right, let's bring Mr. Moody down.
Judge, there's just one violation.
Yes.
There's a number of things that are alleged. Some things might be true, so my confidence that we're getting through to some things, not true other things.
All right, so the only thing he has is a violation of the rules and regulations of GPS, am I correct?
That's correct, yes, Your Honor. And
So the question is, either he did or he did not.
and part of it is he's supposed to be like 600 feet of the residence and doesn't know if that's true or not. Is he?
All right, so, Vashawn, so what's being said is maybe some of it is true, maybe part of it is not true. It's just a violation of GPS. So the question becomes, is he going to plead true to failure to comply with the rules and regulations of the GPS? And this is a matter of the court hearing explanations, or is this not going to be a plea true?
It's gonna be a plea that, the GPS rules, if I remember correctly, call for him not to go within 600 feet of the complaining witness. He did go a certain distance for visitation purposes for the children.
Well, either he was within 600 feet or he was not, and then there's an explanation. So do people
And
believe he was?
He was within 600 or not, because he was in a park.
All right, did somebody talk to the probation and
Yeah.
the GPS officer to see if he was within 600 feet?
We have spoken with them and they're would, as a proffer, testified that he was.
All right, so they say they're gonna say he was within 600 feet.
So, I mean, if that's what they're gonna testify to, then we don't have a way of contesting the.
All right, so who's here on GPS?
Smith.
All right, can you come forward, please?
Mr. Moody, I'm just saying.
And we're not on the record, I'm just trying to get clarification. Hello, thank you so much for waiting and your patience.
Okay.
So here's my question. I think everybody can agree that he was supposed to be on GPS.
Yes, ma'am.
So that's not an issue. So with regards to the condition of GPS, how far was he supposed to be away from the complainant?
600 feet.
All right, and are you gonna say or testify that he was less than 600 feet
Yes, ma'am.
of the complainant?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, so is this gonna be a plea of true or not true? And, all right, thank you so much.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
We still may need you because the 600 feet, where was he located at? That's a bad question.
For
Any
1 hour and
conversation.
23 minutes and 58 seconds, he was at 7460 Kitty Hawk Road, Converse, Texas. And per his condition, he is supposed to be within or without being 600 feet of 7347 Kitty Hawk.
All right, so let me just see where Kitty Hawk is. Is this a park?
I believe it's a residence.
It's a
It's an
residence.
apartment complex with a park nearby.
All right, thank you so much.
Yes, ma'am.
So you're gonna come and say that he was having visitation with children or something?
Yes, with his children.
And state, have you investigated whether he was having visitation with the children?
Not specifically regarding the children, but we did investigate the fact that he breached the distance that he was supposed to be within the victim's residence and therefore violated his condition number 29.
All right, so this is what I'm trying to, yes, technically, this is a violation. He's not supposed to be there. The children, one, was he actually seeing his children? And two, are these the children that he shares with the complainant?
Yeah.
All right, so did anybody want to call the complainant and say, hey, did he have visitation on this day? Did you allow him to have the children at the park on this day? Because that makes a big difference to the court. It may not make a difference to anybody else, I don't know, but it makes a difference to me if he's not supposed to be within 600 feet but the person is in Converse, Texas, and somebody brought him the children. I don't know who brought him the children, and he has the children at the park. Maybe that makes a difference to other people. I don't know. Does that make any difference to you, State?
I guess yes and no. No to the fact that he still was on notice of his restrictions, and even if someone brought him the children, he should have known that he's supposed to have stayed the appropriate distance away and maybe found an alternative location that wasn't within 600 feet of the victim's residence. But if the victim is the one who set this up,
So does anybody want to call the complainant and see if they said, I'm sorry?
It's supposed to be in your as well.
Okay. Does anybody want to call the complainant and figure out how he ended up having visitation with his children at a park?
we can step under so we should.
All right, just step back. All right, thank you. The parties on Andre Moody, drive safely. And I don't know why when people drive, how when you're turning and for some reason, people don't fix the drainage appropriately in many of cities that I've been in. And you have that huge water and it's just all this water piling up. Yes, and you have people who are driving their F-150s, just splashing water on other vehicles.
What's even better than you splash it on pedestrians?
Oh my gosh, yes. And so, and I don't know why this happens. When water gets splashed on your windshield, what is your first reaction?
Oh my God.
Yes. Yeah, you go shots. And I'm like, open your eyes, Stephanie, before you crash. So yeah, that was my experience this morning. People just, but I'm glad I didn't wash my car yesterday. Although my mom always says, if you wash your car and it rains the next day, it won't be as dirty as it could have been. So either way, it's good. All right, we're going on the record. The court is calling 2019 CR 8716 State versus Andre Moody. Can I have parties announce?
Defendant for the state of Texas. Albert Chidas for Mr. Moody.
And are you Andre Moody?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you review the document entitled Motion to Enter Adjudication of Guilt and Revoke Community Supervision with your attorney? Did you understand it? Are you the same Andre Alonzo Moody who was placed on deferred adjudication in 2019 CR 8716 for the offense of assault, family choking, impeding breath or circulation on June 24th, 2020 for a period of 6 years and extended for 3 years? Is that you?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, State.
Yes, Your Honor, we're here this morning on state's motion to supplement pending motion to enter adjudication of guilt and revoke probation.
Oh, I need the supplemental. I don't have it. Thank you. All right, Mr. Moody, did you review the state's motion to supplement pending motion to enter adjudication of guilt with your attorney, and did you understand it?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, State, you may proceed.
Yes, Your Honor. Violation condition number 29, on or about the 23rd day of February 2025 in Bear County, Texas. The defendant, Andre Alonzo Moody, did not comply with the rules and regulations of the GPS device 2019 CR 8716 in violation of condition number 29.
How do you plead to that, true or not true?
True.
State, do you waive the other allegation?
There's no other allegation there.
No, there is, because this is the supplemental, so there's an allegation.
Yes, right. We waived the other allegation that was in the original work contention.
Any objection? Oh, no problem. Any objection?
No objection, Judge.
All right, Mr. Moody, did you understand by pleading true to violation of condition number 29, the court could find it true, grant the motion, find you guilty, sentence you up to 10 years in prison and up to a $10,000 fine? Knowing that, do you still wish to plead true to violation of condition number 29? Court will find violation of condition number 29 true. Is there a proposed agreement?
There is not, Your Honor. I believe we're both going to go open to Your Honor on the appropriate punishment. Given that, from the state's perspective, we're here on the defendant's third motion to revoke, Your Honor. His first one was filed, looks like it's 3 months after he was initially placed on probation being placed in June 2020. He was first MTR'd in September 2020. And at that time, his conditions were amended to include a TAP evaluation. He was extended for 3 years. Then we come back about a year ago in June 2024 for his second MTR, where the conditions were altered and amended again at that point to add no contact with the victim and partial GPS. Additionally, Your Honor, over his history of his probation, he has had 5 positive tests for marijuana He has had 2 trips to Bear County outpatient treatment. At no point had he attempted to even begin his parenting classes in almost 5 years of probation. He has not completed any of his community service hours. He has not paid any of his fines and fees. It appears to the state that he's not interested in completing his probation as required to by your honor, and therefore we feel that 3 years prison would be appropriate sentence.
All right, in defense?
Judge, I'd like to call my client as a witness, just.
Sure. Would you raise your right hand?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you give will be the truth and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, you can lower your hand. Make sure you keep your voice up so that the court reporter can hear.
Yes.
If you state your name for the record.
Andre Alonzo Moody.
Mr. Moody, you've been on probation for going on how many years?
5.
Okay, and in that time, have you had a place to live?
No. Recently, through that time period, I lost all my family, my mom, my sister, my brother, my dad. And so I haven't had nowhere. I've been struggling. I had to, when my sister passed, my mom took care of the funeral and the cost. But after that, when my mom passed the following year, I had to do it. My brother is in California. He passed in California. My dad was in California. He was in prison in California. So I had to take care of that. So everything that I was kind of like my little stride that I had, my gainings, I lost it. I had to pay for my mom's funeral. Then I had to afterwards pay for my dad's funeral. Then I had to pay for my brother's funeral also. So it kind of took a toll on me financial wise. And for a while I was just depressed. I kind of, that's what happened with the first violation. When I lost my sister and my mom, I kind of didn't want to be here, you know, like a lot was happening. So
So let me ask you this, so, were you living at Haven for Hope, or were you on the street, or what was your situation?
first temporarily I was with Shalon Sims, which is mother of my kids, which is the one I have this case with. And
Why were you with her? Didn't he have a no contact order?
no, that was prior to now.
It was after I think the second NTR.
Okay.
I was with her because we had kids together. My daughter was the main reason. My oldest daughter was the main reason I kind of just wanted to be here. You know, she kind of always wanted to be with me, like do everything. Like my youngest daughter always wanted to go Shalon, and my oldest daughter always wanted to be with me through them times. She wanted to stay with me.
Okay, so let me ask you, in this time that you've been on probation, have you had any kind of employment?
Off and on, because well, I was working at Hooters for a while. But again, the consecutive passings of each family member kind of took a toll on me, and I just drifted. You know, mentally I wasn't there for a while, and I started kind of reading the Bible. You know, start putting
Does anybody have any Kleenex? Do you need that for your ear?
it's
Oh, okay, yeah, that would be better than
this one.
your finger. All right.
Yeah, so I was
So you did work, at any point that I know you've been moving around, did you lose your ID or social security card?
yes, twice actually. Oh, well, right now I'm on my 11th social security card. And I don't know if anybody knows this, but after you're only supposed to have 10 in a lifetime. Right now I'm on my 11th. I just recently got that back like 3 days before I came to jail. The caseworker at Haven for Hope, she gave me got my birth certificate for me. I haven't had that since I was 17. So I was kind of just getting stuff together because it was when I first got out in October 2nd, it was hard because I didn't have nothing. Like again, I had to get my ID back. I had to get my social. And while it was being my 11th social security card, I can just order it on my social security like I would usually do. And everything is through appointment. So I had to make an appointment to get my ID, but you have to have one to get the other. And that was like hard, you know. And I finally was able to get the paperwork from the jail, a printout of a photocopy. I don't know what it's called, but I was able to get that, and the ID place took it and gave me my license, which was December like 14th. I went to the appointment and I got my license around January. And then I had to schedule an appointment for Social Security, but they're not taking walk-ins no more. That's an appointment. So I had to wait till February like 18th to go in to get that. And I just received that 3 days before I came to jail. Now was the problem with my employment. I wasn't able to get a job because I was working at a temp agency, which I came to see you in February because it was kind of hard to get myself together because I couldn't get the job. And the only job that I was able to get, GPS didn't want me to do it because it was a temporary job. So I kind of fell off with that, you know, because I was working there. They didn't want me to work over a certain amount of hours. I was trying to get them.
Okay, so let me interrupt you. So you've got your ID, you've got your driver's license, your birth certificate now, right?
Yes, my case manager at Haven has my birth certificate.
Okay,
And they were also willing to help me with an apartment. All I had to do is get a job, a real job, as they call it, not a temp service job, consistently, and bring them 4 checks up. They would have paid my first month's rent because it's a program that they have. And, I never got that opportunity because I was arrested as soon as I got all my, you know.
okay. And so in this time that you've been on probation, some 5 years, have you been rearrested?
Yes.
You've been picked up new cases?
You know, I haven't picked up no new cases. I've just been struggling to get on my feet. Every time I start to get like kind of the ball rolling, I always come to jail. And I lose everything again. I don't have nowhere to put it. You know what I mean? I leave it with certain people. It's not there when I come back. I have to consistently start over.
Okay.
And that's where I'm at right now. Right now, I'm at another process of starting over. And again, I finally got everything that I need to be able to work, to go do what I need to do. I'm interested in going to school. It's what I'm trying to go for welding. I was in school going for business management recently, but that was like 2020 after my mom passed. I kind of cut that off too.
Let me ask you, the violation is that you haven't been complying with the regulations, the rules pertaining to the GPS. Did you visit your kids?
I wasn't able to often, but my daughters, especially my oldest daughter, we have like a tight bond. So if I don't go like a long time without seeing her,
Okay, so his question was, were you visiting your children? That's the question.
yes, ma'am.
Okay, and the kids are in the custody of Siobhan?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, sir.
And you know that after the second MTR, they said no contact with
Right.
Siobhan Sims.
Yes, sir.
Did you talk to her about visitation?
Yes. She had called me while I was standing in Haven for Hope. She called me twice, and I didn't answer because of the no contact order. But she texted me and she told me my daughter wanted to speak with me, and I told her to have her call me, and they video called me, and she was crying. She said she wanted to see me. I haven't seen her in a month. So that's how we set up the arrangement for me to meet with them at the park, and I played with them at the park for about an hour and a half, and I left, and that's how I picked up the violation number 29.
Okay, and do you want to stay on probation?
Yes, I do need the help because I'm struggling by myself. Miserable. It's hard, and it's been times I don't know where to go. You know, and I do have somebody that's kind of like willing to support me. It's a friend of mine, um, possibly girlfriend, just to be honest. And she's
Well, to be honest, here's the thing. This is what the problem is. He's been on probation for 5 years. He hasn't done anything. The only thing you keep doing is you keep picking up more violations and you haven't learned anything. Now you're saying, I have somebody to support me. That's the problem. You're supposed to be supporting yourself. You're hanging your star to this person to support you. If something were to happen to them, or if they were to break up with you, we'd be right back here on another day with you telling me that you've lost your relatives, which I'm sorry to hear about that. But you were here before saying the same thing. And now you're back again saying the same thing. And now you have somebody else that you're going to be with hanging your star to her. And I think everybody deserves a chance. I know there is love out there in the world, but you got to ask yourself what is going on in her life that she's decided to hang her star on a person who has no job, who has no home, who has a criminal case pending and is not taking care of his business. So that relationship, I can tell you, that relationship is not going to work out because at some point in time, she's going to get tired of having to lift and carry you on her back. She's going to want you to carry her once in a while, and you can't do it. You can't do it financially because you don't have a job. You can't provide her a home because you don't have one. And as you said it, you're probably going to need another Social Security card because the jail is probably going to lose it. So you haven't done anything. In 5 years, why have you not completed parenting classes in 5 years?
it's $25 a week.
All right. So in 5 years, why have you not had a job? How are you supporting yourself? Were you living off your mom, living off your dad,
No, ma'am.
living off of relatives?
I was working at Hooters prior to my mom. I actually had a savings account and everything. But
So why haven't you paid $25 for parenting classes?
that was prior to me even being on probation. My mom passed in 2020. And my sister passed before that. And the funeral, my mom don't even have a headstone for her.
No, I understand that.
It cost a lot of money, and I never knew how much it cost. I didn't know, I was just.
But here's the thing, you haven't done anything on probation, nothing. None of the requirements I've set for you, you have done. You have done nothing. Now, with regards to the marijuana, I know you're testing positive for that and you have a prescription. So that's the only thing you've been able to do. You got a prescription for marijuana, but you haven't done parenting classes. You've done nothing. And you haven't done your BIP class. You haven't done anything.
That's $25.
Here's the thing. You're using the fact that you don't have money for anything, not to do anything. And if you were to come into this courtroom and say, Judge, I haven't done the parenting classes or the BIP class because I don't have any money. If that were the allegations in the motion, I would be like, okay, you know what? He hasn't violated his probation at all. He just hasn't been able to do that because of funding. But that's not the case with you. You have done nothing.
Everything that I haven't done is because of funding is what I don't have.
No, you violated your probation 3 times. All you had to do was not violate your probation. You haven't done anything. And there's nothing that can be said today that will make me think that you're going to do anything when you're released, because every time you come before me once, another judge, another time, and every time you come before me, you have all these plans and you always have somebody. I found somebody who's going to help me out with this now. You're not taking any responsibility for anything. And how old are you?
I'm 32.
You're 32. You're going through life thinking that somebody else is supposed to be responsible for you, and they're not. Everybody gets hit with problems. I know funerals are expensive. That's why I decided I wanted to be cremated, and everybody else is saying, I want to be cremated. And you know what they've started doing? Raising the price on cremation. I remember you could get cremated for $2,000. Now it's up to 10. So I understand. Who knows? Maybe I'm just going to die in my house and have somebody let cats come in my house and eat me. I don't know. But what I'm trying to express to you is it is not anybody else's duty to take in an adult male and support them. You're not even supporting your children financially.
Right.
That's another violation of probation. So in the 5 years that you have been on probation, you haven't even supported your children because you don't have a steady job.
So,
But here we are, we're going out procreating and we don't have our lives together. I just don't think probation is appropriate for you. And there's nothing else that I can do for you anymore. I've tried my best. I've told you to pick up the phone, call probation when you need something, come into the court if you need something, and you have done neither. The only thing you've done is violate your probation, and you violated it 3 times, and you've been extended, and extending you doesn't help. You should have been done with this probation, off with this probation, because you've been on this probation for 5 years and have done nothing.
Ms. Ford, can I speak one more time?
Sure.
I just got, like I said, I just got my social security card. I came to you in February.
Here's the thing, when you were placed on probation and you got your first motion to revoke, you had just got your social security card and you're telling me you're getting your life together. And 5 years you do nothing.
And yes, ma'am. And that was my fault because I kind of like you said, I kind of depend on other people too much in this, like right now. I depend on a lot of people instead of trying to get things done myself. But I do try to get stuff done, Ms. Boyd. There's been many times that I've been searching for jobs and it just told me no. And I did have an opportunity for a job right before at Denny's. I know it doesn't quite mean anything, but I got my income tax, on my car. I haven't even touched
Here's the thing, I don't even understand how people are getting an income tax refund and they don't have employment.
I was working last year partially.
All right, and you didn't pay $25 to do parenting. This is what the court is going to do. 29 is true. The court is going to grant the motion, revoke you. Find you guilty, revoke, give you credit for any time served. Does anybody want to speak with regards to time?
Judge, we would just ask for the minimum. All of these have been technical violations. He just can't get his life together. He's not out, holding up a Valero gas station, anything like that. So I think that based on that, the minimum would be appropriate.
And state, what are you requesting?
I'll defer to the court, Your Honor.
All right, the court will sentence you to 3 years in the prison, give you credit for any time served, and the court will request the therapeutic community. Did you review the document entitled Trial Court Certification of Defendant's Rights to Appeal with your attorney? Did you understand it and sign it?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, you have a limited right to appeal. That right to appeal, and I'm sorry, there's an affirmative finding of family violence. You have a right to appeal, and that right to appeal is a limited right to appeal. It relates to the allegations in the motion, not the fact that you're on deferred adjudication. Because this is a felony conviction and an affirmative finding of family violence, you're not allowed to own or possess any weapons or ammunition. If you have a question over what a weapon or ammunition is, you need to speak to an attorney. Do you understand?
Yes, can I ask one more question?
Sure.
So I do have 390 days or 300 and something days. Is that accounted for as 2 for 1?
Anytime that no.
No.
So here's the thing. This is a misunderstanding that people have. The court is not in charge of whether you get 2 for 1 or day for day. That has to do with whatever facility you are at and whether or not they decide to give you credit for that. What I can tell you is I sentence you to 3 years. You will do no more than 3 years. All right, good luck to you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Watch, we're on the scene. Truths unravel, and what does it mean? In the halls where stories clash, Oouchie court watch quick as a flash.